Here, we can connect to new data, connect to saved data sources, or open recently used workbooks. In the Connect pane, we can see the wide variety of data sources that Tableau connects to natively. For this video, we'll connect to the global superstore data available for download. The superstore data is an Excel file that looks like this. The data is shaped like a database table. The first row contains the column headers. This dataset contains transactions of customers purchasing specific products. Let's go back to Tableau Desktop and choose Connect to Excel. Navigate to the file on your machine and double-click to open it. Now we're on the data source page. From here, we can choose which sheets or tables we'd like to use. We can drag orders to the canvas. If we want to use more information from the same data source, we simply drag out the other table onto the canvas. Alternatively, if we have related data in another data source, we can create an integrated data source by adding a connection. Click Add, and here we'll connect to a text file of our returned orders, stored as a CSV. This file is also available for download. The sheet has automatically been added to the canvas, and here we can see our cross-database join. We're using flat files so you can follow along, but this could be a join on data from, say, Hadoop and Redshift. Cross-database joins are extremely powerful. Tableau Desktop automatically created a default join that we can see in the icon here. Clicking on the icon brings up the details of the join, and we can edit it directly. We'll choose a left join, so we get all the information from the orders table, and only bring in relevant return information for transactions that were returned. It's already based on order ID as the join clause, but we could change this if desired. The grid below allows us to verify what data we have. We can see we have a lot of nulls from the return database in yellow, which is great, we don't like returns, and all our order information is here in blue. In this grid view, we can do some basic metadata management. We can change row ID from a number to a string just by clicking on the icon. The order ID field in this dataset has multiple parts: the distribution center code, the year, and 2 additional codes. If we want to split this field and keep only the distribution center code, it's easy. Just click on the drop-down and select Custom Split. We'll split on a hyphen and just keep the first column. Let's rename this field Distribution Center. Next, we can decide if we'd like to connect live to the data or extract it. Connecting live is great when we have constantly changing data or when we want to leverage the high-performance database we're connected to. Alternatively, we may choose to import data into Tableau's fast data engine with an extract. This takes the data offline and allows us to minimize performance impact on critical systems, while still allowing for regular, scheduled refreshes to keep the data up to date. We'll leave it on live and click on our Sheet tab down here at the bottom. Now we're connected to that dataset. Let's see how easy it is to dive into our data. We simply drag the fields out. Let's bring category to rows, segment to rows, quantity to columns, market to columns, and let's bring market to color as well. It's that easy to create a visualization of how our sales are looking per category, customer segment, and market, in terms of number of items sold. We can quickly see that Africa is an emerging market for us. You'll notice that I brought in these fields from the data pane here on the left. It's broken up into dimensions and measures that represent the column headers in the Excel sheet. What are dimensions and measures? Dimensions are categorical fields. In this case, fields such as date, customer, and category. These are fields we want to slice and dice our numerical data by. Dimensions are often discrete. Discrete fields create labels in the chart and are color-coded blue in the data pane and in the view. Measures, on the other hand, are our metrics. They are the numbers we want to analyze. Measures are often continuous. Continuous fields create axes in the chart, and their pills are color-coded green. Now, let's say we're interested in our total sales number. Let's place sales in the view. We can see that Tableau queries the database and returns a single result, giving us the sum of sales. This company has done a little over $12.5 million in sales. If we want to see this over time, we can drag order date to the top of the view. Tableau Desktop aggregates our dates at the year level. We can expand this with the plus symbol on the pill. Now we see both quarters and years in the view. To see how all of our Q1s are doing over the years, we can easily pivot the data so quarter is in front of year. Now we can compare how our growth looks by quarter across the years. Moving year to color shows us all the years on top of each other. If, instead of drilling down further, we want to change quarters to months, we can click on the pill to bring up the drop-down menu and change it. If looking at an average of sales is more useful than sum of sales, we can simply change that by using the drop-down menu on the pill and changing the aggregation to average. But let's undo that for now. What about if we want to know something like year-over-year growth? In Tableau Desktop, calculations like this are easy. Once again, clicking on the pill's drop-down brings up the menu. And now going to Quick Table Calculation, we can see common business calculations as single-click options. Let's select year-over-year growth. If we still want to see our original sales, we can simply place it back in the visualization. Perhaps we want to have the year-over-year growth values appear in a tooltip instead of the graph. We can simply move it to the tooltip shelf. The tooltip provides additional information when we hover over marks in a view. For example, here in November of 2015, we see we're almost 50% up from the previous year. Let's drag Category to the Rows shelf. Now we can see which categories are doing well and when they were doing well. We can even leave comments. For example, we see there's a yearly dip in sales in July, but we rebound in the fall. We can leave an annotation by right-clicking, selecting Annotate, and adding a point annotation.